Good morning, this is an international English language testing system. This is a mock IELTS speaking test conducted by Monique. So today I'm an examiner. At first I will ask you some personal question. What's your full name?
Well, my full name is Shwabisam Shoklo, but everybody calls me as Shoklo.
Where do you come from?
Well, I was born in Nadu, but I live in Dhaka now due to my father's job and my study.
Are you working or studying?
I'm not working, I'm studying at class 6 at MUBC.
Which is your favorite subject?
Well, I like all the subjects, but I like English very much because in higher education, all the books are written in English. So if we learn English now, then it will be helpful for future.
Okay. Are you getting well with your family?
Of course, I'm getting well with my family. We eat breakfast, dinner, and lunch together. Sometimes we go to visit new places, so that's why I'm getting well with my family.
Okay. Let's move on part 1 about food and cooking. So what sorts of food do you like to eat most?
Well, I like to eat homemade and fast food, both foods very much, but I eat homemade foods more than fast foods because homemade foods are healthy for our health. But if we eat fast food, then we can get fat and we can get into many kinds of diseases. So that's why I think that.
Okay. Who normally does cooking in your home?
Well, normally my mom does the cooking in my home, but if my mom gets sick, then my father does the cooking in my home, and me and my younger brother also help him.
Okay. Do you watch cookery programs on TV?
No, I don't watch cookery programs on TV because I'm not interested in that kinds of topics. But my mom watches it because she is interested at making new kinds of foods.
Okay. In general, do you prefer eating out of or eating at home?
In general, I like to eat at home more rather than eating it out because if we eat at home, then it is very helpful for our health. But if we eat fast foods, then we can get many kinds of diseases, and we can also get fat if we eat fast foods many.
Okay, let's move on part 2. In this part, I'll give you a cue card. You have to talk 1 to 2 minutes about the topic, and here are some papers if you want to make some notes. So your time started from now. Your time is up. So are you ready to talk about this?
Yes, I'm ready to talk about this. Well, I can describe my aunt's house, one of my mother's sister. The house is in Nator near Jinna school. Well, the house is very beautiful. The design of the house floor is very beautiful. The rooms of the house is very big and good. The place of the house is also very good. There is a large ground where children play in the afternoon. Well, at night the place becomes cold, which is very useful at warm temperature. That's why I like this house very much.
Okay, let's move on part 3. This part is divided in 2 parts. So part 1 is different types of home. What kinds of home are most popular in your country and why is?
Well, I think that team set houses and a building and apartments are both popular in our countries because if we look on the village, we can only see team set houses. But if we look on the city, then we can only see buildings and apartments. So that's why I think that both houses are popular in our country.
Okay. What do you think are the advantages of living in a house rather than an apartment?
I think there are a lot of advantages of living in a house rather than an apartment because in an apartment we can't know that who will our neighbor be, but here at home we can decorate the house at our own wish, and our own house we can feel comfortable. So that's why I think that.
Okay. Do you think everyone would like to live in a large home and why?
Yes, I think that everybody would like to live in a large home because in a large home there are a lot of benefits like a lot of place, security, garage, etc. But some people may feel uncomfortable at night, so that's why I think that.
Okay, let's move on part 2 in part 3. So, how easy it to find a place to live in your country?
I don't think it is easy to find a place to live in our country because if we found a place, we have to see that the papers of the place. If the papers are bad, then we can't buy them. So that's why I think that both that this is much not easier than buy a house.
Do you think it's better to rent or buy a place to live in?
I think it is better to buy a place to live in rather than rent because if we rent, then we have to pay the rent to our landlord. But if we buy a place to live in, then we will not have to pay rent. We may feel comfortable at our own house. So that's why I think that.
Okay. Do you agree that there is a right age of young adults to stop living with their parents and why is that?
Well, I think that there is a right age for young adults to stop living with their parents. Well, the age is after 20 because after 20, people will complete their graduation and study and they will go to many kinds of districts for jobs. So that's why I think that.
Okay. Thanks for speaking to us. If you watch this video, please subscribe.